Hey, good morning. Yes, up and at 'em. Today is Monday, February 17th. So, what are we going to talk about today? I thought we would do a continuation of the video that I did yesterday afternoon on customer service and customer relationships. Because I think there's a lot more to be said that you need to hear. And I want to capitalize a little bit on what Amos was saying because he said it better than I did. So, hang tight. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Monday. That's right. Beginning of the work week for most of you, so get up, start getting ready. It's a new day, it's a new week. Anything's possible, right? Alright, so we're talking about customer relationships. And this isn't just about customer relationships, this is about relationships with anybody that you are in contact with. All right, whether it's for your business, personal life, it's all basically the same. And if you're shaking your head or scratching your head, I don't blame you because it probably isn't making sense, and at times I don't make sense. But hear me out. Most relationships work well, are deep, and last the test of time when the one person is looking for ways to help the other person and not looking for ways to benefit themselves. And you're like, now you really got me confused. The problem most people have when it comes to having any relationships, whether it's good customer service, whether it's, friends that they're friends with, but it's just surface level of their buddies. And even in relationships with partners, with finding Miss or Mr. Right, Because what ends up happening is everybody is being preconditioned to try to decide what's in it for me. Listen to that again. What is in it for me? If that's how you're approaching a relationship, I would say better than 90% you're going to fail. And why is that? Because you're looking out after me instead of the person that you're talking to. When I approach any relationship, whether it's at the shop, in real life, and even here, I ask, how can I help you? And a lot of people in business will say, well, how is that going to make me money? Hang tight. Just hang tight. If you have a customer, Amos was saying you have to talk differently to the different people that walk through your door. And he is so right. Whether it's talking to engineers, talking to techs, it's all in your approach. And we have a lot of females that come through the door. And I talk differently to them. I don't talk down to them. They don't know a lot of the jargon. And why should they? But they also don't want to feel belittled and laughed at, per se, because they don't know what a lot of the jargon is. It's how they feel once they leave that interaction. Doesn't matter who it is that walks through that door, you need to find what's going to work for that individual. And you should know within the first couple seconds how you're going to react. But when you react, it has to be, what can I do to help this person? That has got to be your goal every time. If you have a gal walk in and she's looking to buy a weed eater, because this is for sales too, not just repairs, it's for sales. And she's looking to buy a weed eater, but she doesn't want to spend a boatload of money, just something to trim around the house, once a week. You've got a couple different options. She's told you she's just looking for something to trim around the house. She doesn't want to spend a boatload of money. What are you going to do? Are you going to try to put her in the most expensive unit that makes the most commission for you? Or are you going to take care of that customer, listen to that customer, and put her in a reasonable lower end model that will do exactly what she wants to have done? Okay, so you only made $10 on the sale versus $110. But that $10 commission check that you got from that person, I guarantee you will be your best advertising out there. Because she is going to tell all her friends of how well you treated her. And now you got another 14 friends showing up at the door wanting the same treatment, wanting different pieces of equipment. Now you've sold 15 pieces of equipment, still made the same amount of money, but now you've added 15 more people to your customer base. Whereas you could nail the one and make the 150, but now she's going to go tell all of her friends once her guy friends tell her she got screwed, which they will, and even some of her more knowledgeable girlfriend, that you screwed her. What do you think she's going to be saying? She's going to be telling everybody she knows of stay away from you. Because you're only out for just you. And you were. Let's be honest. Because you were thinking about the whole conversation of what's in it for me. How can I come out on the top end of this deal? And I can tell you, there's some deals that we eat. Repairs. That we eat. Because the price isn't that much anyways for what we had to do to it. And it goes a long ways in customer service. We had one that came in that it needed a spark plug, and that was it. That's all she wanted was to hear it run, and she had taken it to 2 other places, and they were quoting her $70 to $80 to fix a low end model Pushmore. We went ahead and put a spark plug in it. Well, she was right there, and it fired right up, ran great. And we made sure that she took it over into the grass and to see if she could start it fairly easy. And we noticed the handles were loose, so we tightened up all the handles on it. We took the blade off, sharpened the blade for her, put it back on. All while she waited. We broke it down and put it into her car, her trunk. She was thrilled when she said, "How much do I owe you?" I said, "Nothing." She said, "You can't do business and not make something. You have to, I want to see people like you stay in business." I said, "If you can, give us a good name, that's good enough for me for today. You've been through the ringer with 2 other shops that told you we're not all like that. There are old school mechanics and old school shops still out there willing to give you a hand." You could tell me I'm crazy for doing it. But most of the people that tell me I'm crazy for doing it are the ones that are already thinking about me. When my son came to me, when he first started getting into selling cars, and the normal way is pushy salesmanship. And that doesn't work. You hear all these. Years ago, I used to be quite active on LinkedIn. And there were a couple guys that were salespeople. And they said after X amount of calls and emails and this and that, you finally will get the customer to respond. No, you'll get your emails deleted and your messages deleted, and the person will probably put a no contact order with the sheriff's department. It never works. And if you're approaching that deal because you're on a commission sales only, it's hard not to think about what about me, right? But you got to play the long game. And the long game is taking care of that customer and getting that customer to a point of where they want to take care of you. That's the end result. If you can accomplish that, you're halfway there. People want to help other people that have helped them when there was nothing in it for the other person. Why is it so hard to get that mindset again? We used to have it. We all used to be willing to help each other, no matter what. But I watched this transition over the years of where you're getting people on YouTube telling you how to run your business and how you need to look out for number one. I'm not saying not to look out after number one. You got to make sure that your bills are paid and everything else. But if that's all you're worried about is you, maybe that's the reason you don't have a bunch of customers lined up at your front door. It's like these fly-by-nights that I see on TV and magazines, on Facebook advertising. Everything from testosterone to what have you, right? And what they don't tell you is they tell you, oh, we're going to give this to you for free. I had a friend of mine do this. So he went ahead and he ordered it. Said free. And if you want more, then this is what you do. But he didn't read the whole fine print. The fine print said if you didn't return that bottle within the 30 days, they would automatically bill your credit card. And when I say bill your credit card for, I think it was Nugenics or something, is what he bought. All he had to do was just pay shipping. So he gave him his credit card to pay shipping to get the bottle to him to try it. He tried it for, I think, a week and it started giving him massive headaches. So he discontinued it and just said it. Following month came. And he came to me and he showed me his credit card statement of where Nugenics had billed him $300 and some for a bottle of testosterone. That probably cost them $10 because he didn't read the fine print. And that's how a lot of what I call businesses make their money. They're thinking about themselves first and you later. They think they've got an unlimited amount of customers, or they'll run this, this is me saying it, somewhat of a scam. Because they're not upfront and forward. Had they said, pay shipping and handling, if you don't like it, return it within the 30 days, and that's fine. If they're paying $5-6 for it, the better thing would have been try it. If you like it, then to continue, you need to follow up. So it's something that the customer has to do to initiate it. But they're making boatloads of money because it is almost $400 for a $5 bottle of testosterone. And how many hits like that does it take for that company to make boatloads of money? But if you go look at their ad that they have on Facebook, you will see in the comments, if you click comments, all of these negative comments of how the company screwed them. It doesn't faze that company a bit because for the amount of money they're making, they don't care. When a customer walks through the door, you have just a couple of seconds to assess them and decide, how am I going to communicate with that customer? And within that couple seconds, you need to have the tone of, how can I help this person? You start off by asking the person, how can I help you? Because they're there for a reason. They didn't just come to your shop to hang out and bullshit with you. They come because they got a problem. So that makes you the problem solver, right? You have to problem solve the problem they're having. And it's a 99% possibility that it's going to be related to small injury repair if that's what your business does. So don't think, listen. Listen to what that customer is telling you. And if that customer is well versed on parts and this and that, and then that's the level you talk back to them at. Just like Amos said. If you're talking to an engineer, you're going to talk in a different jargon like you would another repair guy than you would somebody coming off the street that doesn't know the engineering behind the product, which would be the technician. You have different ways of approaching, and you never ever make that customer feel less than. Never. You may still get the job. I've seen that happen where people would make their customer feel like crap and stupid. How would you feel if somebody did that to you? So isn't it better whether you're in sales making commissions, or you own the business, or you're the customer service rep, or you're the person that people see first when somebody walks through the door? Would it be better to try to figure out how to help that person and worry about yourself on the back end? Because what I'm trying to get across to you is, if you come with it at that mentality, how can I help you? But yeah, I see so many people in sales especially are trying to figure out what sales approach to use while the customer is talking. And they're not listening to the customer. And that's what I explained to my son. The customer will tell you exactly what they want. And he's like, Dad, sometimes the customers don't realize they can't afford what they want. Then that's when you talk to them about it. Not out on the showroom floor where there's other customers and other salespeople. Take them into the office, sit them down, and say, what is your budget? Because you may not know that they've got boatloads of money hidden in the mattress, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. Some of the wealthiest people I know wear sweatpants that are stained, an old ratty shirt, but they're comfortable. You would think you would have the feeling of wanting to give them a couple dollars to help them out. But that's what I mean. Never judge a book by its cover. All right. So as I explained to my son, because he was in sales on a commission, he had an hourly rate, which was base pay, which isn't a lot, but you make your money on sales. So I told him, if a customer comes in and is asking a bunch of questions, answer every question to the best of your ability. If you don't know the answer, don't just blip it out and make yourself look like an ass. If you don't know, tell the customer, I don't know, but I can find out. Is the customer going to be more receptive to you if you're not just flying by the seat of your pants, that you're willing to get them the answers that they want? Yeah. And you'll have customers that are window shopping that aren't ready to trade, but they're out there looking to see what's on the market. For those, give them your business card. I told him, go out to the customer when they pull in, simply hand them a business card, introduce yourself, and say, if there's any way that I can help you at all, I'll be inside. Or call me or email me at a later date when you're ready to really start, making that commitment. And let me see what I can do for you. But he was telling me that there's people that come in that have a big want list, but their budget is down here, or their credit rating isn't enough to get them into that really expensive vehicle, which I don't believe vehicles should be as expensive as they are. But I said, then that's where you sit them down in the office where they're out of earshot of everybody else and explain that to them. Here's what you are looking at that you want. Here is the percentage rate that the bank is willing to give you. Here's what your monthly payment is going to be. Can you afford to pay for that truck or that car? Or do you want me to see if I can find something that isn't as much a month? Because if you're thinking about what's in it for me, you're going to try to push them into the most expensive vehicle you possibly can. You're not worried about them. You're just worried about yourself. And I guarantee you, after the second payment, and then they end up having the bank take it back because they can't afford it, you think they're going to come looking you up on their next vehicle once they get their credit redone? Yeah, you got a certain percentage of the overall high-ticket item that was in the showroom. But that's not going to be good for longevity. I mean, my son would work weekends, nights and weekends on his own time, making deals with people because it was more convenient for those people to talk to him on a Saturday or Sunday, to ask him if he had anything like that on the lot. And he was very responsive. I told him, you need to have a work phone and a personal phone. Work phone, shut it off when you're not there. And he said, no, Dad, you got to be available when they're... No, you got to train your customers that this is the time that you need to be asking questions. And then after hours, I have another life, I have a family. I have commitments. Because you can't be there 24/7, 7 days a week, trying to help people out either. You need downtime. But what I'm trying to get across to you is, if you can get that customer to the point of where they want to help you, you've got it made. Because they will tell other people. They will bring more business to your shop. They will. they'll be one of your best advertisers. The best advertising is word of mouth. And if you could take, because we have a lot of gals, a lot of women that come to our shop for repairs and stuff. And they've gotten to the point of where it's like, just do what you got to do, Eric, and let me know when it's ready. Instead of worrying that I'm going to somehow take advantage of them. Because every time they've come in contact with me, it's always been, how can I help you? And if you show the willingness and the desire to help that person, if you're in need, that person will be the first one to step up and help you out. I'm serious. That's how businesses stay in business for longevity. It's not fly by night and getting the most out of your customer. It's not. It's about how you treat your customers and that they want to help you in the long haul. Because I guarantee you there's somebody else doing small engine repair. There's 2 other shops. And if you're not treating that customer well, they're going to go somewhere that they are being appreciated and being treated well. It's all in the approach. Don't fake it till you make it. Either you want to really help or you don't want to help. That's totally up to you. But if you're going to be in customer service or you're going to own a business and need customers, you need to really look at how you are approaching each customer, and are you trying to do best by them. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. But the thing is your approach. And if you clear your mind and you're thinking about how can I help that person, and you're listening and you can repeat back to them what they said, you're going to be in business for a long time. I'm not saying, give away all work and stuff like that for free. No. I'm just saying, if your mindset is that of how can I help my customer, this customer, you will get that customer to the point of where they want to help you. And once that happens, you're going to stay busy, or busier than the other shops. If you're not seeing a lot of business right now and you've been this way of how to help the customer, it's because it's crickets everywhere this time of year, as Jason pointed out. But we've already seen an uptick in people asking about what it would cost for this or this or this. So people are almost ready to pull the trigger. And how you deal with that customer, even though the job isn't right in front of you, will dictate whether you get to see that job or not. So on that note, you guys have a great Monday, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, thanks so much for watching.